Hello, welcome to Jack's Nice Meditation. Now this is for people who really just need to relax, but it is also a kind of sleep meditation, or it's kind of an ease into sleep meditation, as I describe this now. One moment, please. Now, welcome back. Now, before we start the video, or start the meditation really, I'd like you to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I'll give you a moment to do that. So, whatever's happening now. So, let me start. This is a this is to sleep, to relax, to feel whole. This is just, they kind of cheer up, feel good, sleep, relax. This is the always, in fact, meditation, meaning that it will go for almost any situation where you want, any kind of situation that you need meditation. And it's just for midday cheer up. So, let's start. We're gonna start with the breathing. Now, this is positivity breathing. Now, you're gonna breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. You're also gonna close your eyes and your mouth. So, as you breathe in through your nose, the whole time, breathe in positivity, fresh air, or whatever air. Breathe in relaxation, breathe in good things. And when you breathe out, you purify your body's air, meaning you let out all the bad things. But the good things, it basically strains your air when it leaves you. So do that. Now we're going to start with a couple of muscle exercises, a normal tensing and relaxing of muscles. So, let's start. Curl your toes really tightly, okay? Now, relax them. Move on to your lower leg, meaning from your feet all the way up to your knees. Now, tense them a little bit. Just a good little tense will do. Now, relax them. Now, we'll move on to your upper leg, meaning from above your knees all the way to right below your abs. Tense them just a little bit. Now, relax them. Now, you want to tense your ab muscles, your abdominal muscles. Tense them now. And now, relax them. Now, tense your spine and your neck. Now, relax it. Now, tense your arms. And now, release them. Now, move up to your lower face, specifically tighten up your chin and your teeth. Grit your teeth and tighten your chin and your cheeks. Now, relax them. Now, you go tighten up just a little bit, as much as you can, the upper half of your face, meaning your nose, your eyes, and your forehead. Tighten them up. Now, relax them. Now, what we're going to do now is think about what we just did. Doesn't your body feel so calm now? So relaxed? So, we're now going to go through a series of affirmations to make your day good, to make it so you can sleep better, so you have all these safe, good ideas in your mind, to just make you cheer up a little bit, to make you more relaxed if you're doing this in the middle of the day, or whatever your reason is. These are midstream, mainstream, meaning this will apply to all of the people, to all kinds of people who need meditation. And you'll start by opening yourself up a little bit. When you're around other people, open yourself up a little bit. Vulnerability is very important for happiness, for relaxation, always. If you're going to sleep, do this tomorrow. And if not, then try and open up to one person. Not like have a whole wide discussion, but try not to be uptight, because when you're uptight to people, it builds up a certain tension that can be avoided. And by being vulnerable, you release your emotions. And when you release your emotions, you just feel much nicer. And I can tell you that I started doing that, and I love doing it. It just feels so nice to be able to actually not be afraid of releasing my emotions. Now, obviously, you don't want to go too far, but just keep the idea in the back of your mind the whole day. Now, your next affirmation is love yourself. Now, this is probably the key thing for everything. Vulnerability is number 1, and loving yourself is number 2. I mean, loving yourself is probably actually should be number 1, but whatever. Now, loving yourself doesn't mean like making out with yourself, even though that'd be pretty impossible, but it just means appreciating your ideas and not shaming yourself. If someone says something mean to you, stand up for yourself. Meaning, don't just be nice to other people, be nice to yourself. Now, the next affirmation, the third today, is be happy and don't be stressed. Don't have stresses at the top of your mind. Try, whenever you're stressed out, think of happy things. And when you need to be happy, put those things in the back of your mind. You might need to put your stresses in the back of your mind. Don't bottle them up. But at the same time, don't let them be the center of attention in your brain. Let the happiness take the place of the stress. And when you do that, science has actually proven that even by pushing them away for later, when you push stress away, not sadness, it doesn't work with sadness, but when you push stress out of your mind, especially work-related stress, it makes you much, much, much happier in the short run and in the long run. Because most stresses are actually they actually don't need to be used. Then when you do that, you start to learn how irrational some stresses are, and it just makes your body feel so good. Trust me on that one. If it's important though, don't push it away. But if it's something that isn't just like, I don't want to not impress someone, then unless it's an interview, don't be stressed out. Now, your next affirmation is to treat other people nicely with respect. Now, if you're someone who has depression, or if you're just anyone, even someone who's happy, when you respect other people, first off, you have more social connections, and social connections automatically make you happier and more relaxed. Even introverts. Yes, you heard me right. But the other thing is, when you respect other people, you can learn to respect yourself more. For people who have low self-esteem, if you put yourself in that category, if you respect other people a lot, more, if you respect other people more, you will respect yourself, and more importantly, they'll help you, they'll build you up. And if you're judgmental to people though, all they'll do is give you negative feedback, and that won't help your self-esteem. So always respect other people and yourself, but you also, this is not just about yourself, this is about respect, and respecting and being nice and kind to other people. So, our next affirmation is to be healthy and be moderate. And also, don't get mad if you're not the most healthy every day. If you're on a diet or if you're just trying to be healthy, you shouldn't taunt yourself for eating like a chocolate bar, for example. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to be healthy, you shouldn't taunt yourself for not exercising. Because those feelings in work, those are the feelings that stress you out the most, health and work. So those feelings, you shouldn't get stressed out about health always. I mean, you should be very aware of it, and you being healthy has been proven to make you more happy in the long run. Maybe not in the short run, maybe not having that candy bar in the short run doesn't feel good, even though if you really want a candy bar, you should have it. You shouldn't block yourself from having it unless you physically can't. Now, your next affirmation is to just find a sense of relaxation in daily life. What I mean by that is, try and do something every day that makes you relaxed, that makes you happy, just something that you want to do every day. It doesn't need to be crazy, but it can be something kind of small. It can be something big if you want. You should try every single day to do something that's fun and fun, that makes you happy, or that makes you relaxed, or really anything positive in your mind, especially happy. But try and be relaxed. Try and also do meditation every day. Doesn't need to be my meditation. I will recommend Insight Timer, or what is it called? I think it's Insight Timer, I think. I will look up the app. Wait, I will put that in my next video. But I'm pretty sure Insight Timer, they have the best meditations. It's actually where I first learned to meditate. Go there, or go to more of my videos, or go to Headspace. All of these apps are great apps. Even though Headspace, in my opinion, is actually a little confusing, but it's still a great app. And you should have. So now, what I want you to do is, your next affirmation is to try and make friends. If you're a kid, then that's really important. But if you're an adult, it doesn't mean that, oh, I'm an adult, I'm done with making friends. You always should make friends, because friends make you happy. Having one friend, makes some people happy. But honestly, even for the introverts, having only like one friend isn't that good. Maybe you don't want to have 50 or 100 friends, but you want to have like a good circle of 5 or 6 friends, don't you? Almost everyone does. And not everyone has that in daily life, and that causes loneliness. And that goes right into my next affirmation. Try and make it so that you're never lonely. If you like alone time, then use it. But you don't want to have so much alone time that you get lonely. If you're lonely, that can lead to stress and skyrocket stress and sadness and depression and anxiety, and it can also make you have the symptoms of insomnia. Could make you have the symptoms if you are lonely, chronically lonely, meaning that you're lonely a lot. That can make it so that you don't actually have depression, anxiety, or insomnia, or maybe seasonal affective disorder, not as much, but you actually just have the symptoms of that, because loneliness makes you not as stressed out, but it just makes you sad. But it also makes you stressed out and less relaxed. And you don't want to bottle. Loneliness is one feeling that you never want to push to the back of your head. When you push loneliness to the back of your head, it just builds up. Whereas if you try and surround yourself with people, or have fun, or just make it so you're not lonely, then you get rid of the feeling. Getting rid of that feeling is more important than others, because loneliness just builds up, and as you know it, and then you lose track of it, and then a year later you find yourself super lonely. And the more time you're lonely, the less and less you're attached to society. And being attached to society, basically having a TV, not really having a TV, but doing things that people do, not putting yourself to the side. You want to be part of a community. You don't want to be like the jock people, or the cool people, or the leaders of the community, or whatever. If you're in a school, you don't want to be like the cool kids or the cool people, but you don't want to be on the side. No one likes being on the side. People with depression, the only reason they put themselves on the side, and you might be one of them, is because they're depressed. And that's because when you're sad, you want to be alone. And sadness and loneliness correlate. When you're lonely, you get sad. And when you're sad, you get lonely. Even if you're surrounded with people, you can get pretty lonely. So now, the next affirmation, and that was kind of a long one. The next affirmation is have fun in daily life and root yourself in a community. Try and always be part of a community. When you're part of a community, meaning doesn't mean that you live in a neighborhood. It means that you're involved in a group. Everyone needs somewhere where they are loved. Anyone who's not like that is sad and stressed out and not relaxed and just lonely. Anyone who's not in any kind of community, it doesn't need to be a large community, but have a friend group or something you do with other people that you find fun. So you need to have some place you can go and just feel open. Not everyone needs this, but it's been shown that a lot of people who go on to do terrible things as adults did that because they never felt as a kid like they were belonged, so they felt like other things. And when you're not part of a community, you don't feel like you belong as much, and you want to belong. Because when you don't belong, you don't feel belonged, you get lonely, and loneliness leads to being sad, and then to denial, and then trying to find another group where you fit in. And really, then people go to crime or just don't do good things. So you can have control. As much as you have control, if you're a kid, you don't have as much as control, but you have a good amount of control, much more than you might think, over the people you surround yourself with. Everyone. Get in some kind of group where you feel loved, or just like a lot, and you feel like you can talk your problems out too. So now, your next affirmation is to always deal with stresses, deal with emotions. Any kind of bad emotion, when you need to, you put it in the back of your head. But if you have any ability to, you don't want to let that feeling stressed up build up at the same time, which kind of contradicts my other one, but just listen. This means that you want to get rid of any feelings of bad stress, sadness, loneliness, if you have any control over it, as quickly as possible, because the less time you're in your brain, the less damage it has to your mood, and the less time you feel sad, and the less of everything. Now, make sure you're keeping up with the breathing. Breathe in positivity and relaxation, and think through in the next I'm going to give you a whole minute. Just think through how you can implement these affirmations, or think about something happy, or just anything. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some more affirmations, some more breathing, but now the next thing to do, these aren't as much of affirmations as things you're going to do right now. Think of something happy. Just think about it. Don't act. This is going to help with mindfulness. I'm going to have you right now in the next 10 to 15 minutes. It's going to be about mindfulness, a couple of affirmations, and breathing. Now, think of something happy and don't act on it. Okay? Just think, try and picture it in detail now. Something that makes you relaxed, something that makes you at peace, something that satisfies you when you think about it. So you have that thing. Now, think about something that makes you so angry. Not something stressful or sad. Just think of something that that every single time you get angry that when this happens. But just think about it. Don't just think about it and then say goodbye. Do it. Now, the next thing I want you to do is think of something that kind of bothers you, but think of something sad. Think of something kind of sad, not too sad, but not something that makes you cry, just something that, just settles you, I think. Something that doesn't settle you that well. Don't picture it, just think about it, and then push it out of your head. Now, the next thing I want you to do is think about 2 different stresses that you have. Picture them and then let each of them go with the calming music. Now, think of something magnificent, something that if you saw it in person or some picture, something that just is so beautiful and pretty, or a sunset, or some natural beauty that just makes you so relaxed when you think about it. It can be a sunset on the beach, it can be mountains, it can be anything, just something that when you see it, makes you so chill. And think about that in deep picture. I'll give you a lot of time for this one. Now, make sure that your breathing is still keeping up. Make sure your mouth is still closed. But especially make sure that your breathing is up and that your eyes are closed. Now, think of the happy thing again. And try and repicture it. Put it at the top of your brain right now. Now, go to the thing that bothers you, and don't picture it, but just think about it and do not act on it. Now, picture the natural beauty. Picture it in great detail. Just let it complete and satisfy you. And keep up your breathing. Now, I have a couple more affirmations for you. One of them is always feel good about things. Always feel good about things that you can do. Never feel like things are pointless. No, don't ever feel like, oh, this is pointless about anything. It's not just saying those words. It's just feeling that feeling of like waste of time. Never feel like that ever. Push that feeling out of your head. Think of one thing right now. Don't act on it. That feels like a waste of time, but you do it. Don't think of that thing from now on as a waste of time. Think of it as an opportunity. You should think as everything, good things and bad things, as opportunities. Unless it's literally like the worst thing ever. You should think of something as an opportunity to show yourself, not in a bad way, not like if you do a terrible job, bad things will happen. Because most things don't actually will have terrible results if you don't do them perfectly. But never feel like, oh, this is pointless and I'm just wasting my life, or I'm wasting my time, or I'm wasting something. Those feelings get worse and worse, and they can eventually lead to bad things. Thanks for watching. See you next time.